Virgo, welcome back. Today we are diving into something that I know has been on your mind. Maybe keeping you up at night, maybe popping into your thoughts when you least expect it. What is your ex actually doing right now? Like really doing, not just what you see on social media or what mutual friends might mention in passing. I have been getting so many requests from Virgos asking about this exact situation. And honestly, when I sat down to do this reading, the energy that came through was really interesting. It was not what I expected at all. And I have a feeling it is not going to be what you expect either. So I pulled 10 cards for you today. And each one is going to give us a different piece of this puzzle about where your ex is at emotionally, mentally, what they are going through in their daily life, and maybe most importantly, how they actually feel about what happened between you two. Before we get into the cards, I just want to say that whatever comes through in this reading, remember that this is about giving you clarity and peace, not about reopening old wounds or making you feel stuck in the past. Sometimes knowing what is really going on with someone who used to be such a big part of your life can actually help you move forward with more confidence and understanding. So take what resonates, leave what does not, and let us see what the universe wants to reveal to you today about your ex and their current situation. The first card I pulled for you is the Eight of Swords. And wow, Virgo, this is telling me something really significant about your ex's current mental and emotional state. When I see this card come up in a reading about someone's ex, it usually indicates that the person is feeling really trapped right now, like they are in their own mental prison. Your ex is probably dealing with a lot of self-imposed limitations and restrictions that they do not even fully realize they have created for themselves. Think about someone who is standing in the middle of a field, completely free to walk in any direction. But they have blindfolded themselves and convinced themselves that they are surrounded by walls. That is the energy your ex is carrying right now. They might be stuck in patterns of negative thinking, constantly replaying the past in their mind, second-guessing decisions they made, including the decision to leave or let go of your relationship. What is really interesting here is that the Eight of Swords suggests that your ex has more options and more freedom than they are allowing themselves to see. They are not actually trapped by external circumstances as much as they are trapped by their own fears, their own doubts, their own inability to see clearly what is right in front of them. This could manifest in different ways in their life right now. Maybe they are staying in situations that do not serve them because they are afraid of change. Maybe they are not pursuing opportunities because they have convinced themselves they are not good enough or that things will not work out anyway. There is a real sense of paralysis here, like they want to move forward but they do not know how, or they are too scared to take the first step. For a Virgo's ex specifically, this makes a lot of sense because you Virgos tend to be very analytical and practical in relationships. And when someone is in a relationship with you, they often have to step up their game and be more organized, more thoughtful, more intentional. Without that structure and stability that you naturally brought to the relationship, your ex might be feeling really lost and directionless. They had someone who helped them see things clearly, who helped them solve problems, who brought order to chaos, and now without you, they are realizing how much they relied on that energy. But here's the thing, and this is important for you to understand, Virgo. The Eight of Swords is also a card about victim mentality. Your ex might be playing the victim in their own life story right now, blaming external circumstances or other people for why they are not happy or successful or fulfilled. They might not be taking responsibility for their own choices and actions, and that includes their role in what happened between you two. This card is showing me that your ex has the power to free themselves from this mental prison anytime they want. But first they have to remove the blindfold and see that the swords around them are not actually blocking their path. They have to take accountability and make conscious choices to change their situation. Until they do that, they are going to stay stuck in this cycle of feeling trapped and helpless. Moving to the second card, I have the Four of Cups here. And this is adding another really interesting layer to your ex's current emotional state. The Four of Cups is all about apathy, discontentment, and being so focused on what is missing or what went wrong that you completely miss the new opportunities and blessings that are being offered to you right now. I am seeing your ex sitting there, probably literally or figuratively, with their arms crossed, feeling disappointed and unfulfilled with where their life is at. They might be going through the motions of daily life, but not really engaging with anything or anyone in a meaningful way. There is a real sense of emotional withdrawal here. Your ex has probably pulled back from social connections, maybe from family and friends, definitely from opening their heart to new romantic possibilities. They are in this protective mode where they have decided, either consciously or subconsciously, that nothing is going to measure up to what they expected life to be. so why even try? What is really striking about this card in the context of your question is that it suggests your ex is so preoccupied with the past, with what they lost or what did not work out, that they are not seeing what the universe is trying to show them or offer them in the present moment. Imagine someone sitting under a tree, staring at 3 cups on the ground that represent disappointments or losses, while a hand literally comes out of a cloud offering them a 4th cup filled with new possibilities. And they do not even notice it because they are too busy dwelling on what is not there. That is your ex right now. They might have new job opportunities, new people trying to connect with them, new experiences available to them, but they are not receptive to any of it because they are stuck in this mindset of nothing being good enough. For Virgos specifically, this is relevant because you tend to give a lot in relationships. You are the person who shows up, who helps, who supports, who creates stability and routine, and your ex probably got really comfortable with that level of care and attention. Now that you are not in their life anymore, everything else probably feels lacking by comparison. They might be meeting new people, but comparing everyone to you. They might be trying new things, but nothing feels as comfortable or as right as what they had with you. But here is what they are not understanding. The 4 of Cups is a warning card. It is saying that if you spend all your time mourning what you do not have, you are going to miss out on what is being offered to you right now. Your ex is at risk of letting real opportunities and genuine connections pass them by because they are too stuck in their feelings of disappointment and regret. This card is also showing me that your ex might be dealing with some depression or a general sense of ennui. Life feels flat to them right now, colorless, like they are just going through the motions without any real joy or excitement. They need a major perspective shift, but the 4 of Cups suggests they are not quite ready for it yet. They need to sit in this uncomfortable space for a while longer before they are going to be willing to open their eyes and heart to what is actually around them. Now we are getting into some really interesting energy with the 3rd card, which is the 8 of Wands. This is a card of fast movement, rapid developments, and sudden changes. And it is creating this really fascinating contrast with the first 2 cards we pulled. While your ex is feeling mentally trapped and emotionally withdrawn, the universe or life itself is actually moving really quickly around them. Things are happening whether they are ready for them or not. The 8 of Wands tells me that there are events, situations, communications, and opportunities that are coming at your ex at a pretty rapid pace right now. This could be related to their career, their living situation, their social circle, or even just the general pace of their daily life. Everything is moving fast, and your ex might be feeling overwhelmed by it all, especially given that mental state we talked about with the 8 of Swords. Imagine someone who is already feeling stuck and confused, and then life starts throwing curveballs at them one after another. That is what is happening here. The 8 of Wands can also represent communication and messages. So your ex might be receiving a lot of texts, calls, emails, or social media interactions. People are reaching out to them, trying to connect, trying to make plans, and it might feel like too much for them to handle given their current emotional bandwidth. What is really interesting about this card showing up in this reading is that it suggests that whether your ex wants to or not, they are going to have to start dealing with life and moving forward. The universe is not going to let them stay stuck in that 8 of Swords energy forever. Things are being set in motion that are going to force them to make decisions, take action, and engage with what is happening around them. For a Virgo's ex, this fast-moving energy might feel particularly chaotic and stressful because when they were with you, everything was probably more organized and predictable. You likely helped them plan things, think ahead, and stay on top of responsibilities. Without that structure, the 8 of Wands energy might feel really destabilizing to them. They might be feeling like things are spiraling or happening too fast for them to process properly. This card can also indicate travel or movement in a literal sense. So your ex might be physically moving, changing locations, going on trips, or dealing with a lot of back and forth transportation. There is a real sense of restlessness and mobility here. But on a deeper level, the 8 of Wands is telling me that your ex's life is about to shift pretty dramatically, even if they do not feel ready for it. The stagnant energy they have been stuck in is going to be disrupted, and things are going to start happening quickly. Whether that is a good thing or a challenging thing for them really depends on how they choose to respond to these rapid changes and opportunities that are coming their way. The 4th card is the Lovers. And okay, Virgo, this is where things get really interesting and probably a bit emotional. The Lovers card showing up in a reading about your ex tells me that they are doing some serious reflection about relationships, connections, and choices they have made in matters of the heart. This is not just about romantic relationships, though. The Lovers is also about values, alignment, and making decisions based on what truly matters to you at a soul level. Your ex is going through a period of deep contemplation about love and what they really want in a partner and a relationship. They are thinking about you. There is no question about that. The Lover's card often comes up when someone is reflecting on a significant relationship and the choices that were made within it. Your ex is probably asking themselves some big questions right now. Did they make the right decision? What did they really want from the relationship? What did they walk away from? Were they true to themselves, or were they running from something? The Lovers is associated with decision-making, and specifically decisions that have long-term consequences. Your ex is realizing that the choice to leave or let go of your relationship was not just a simple decision. It was a defining moment that has shaped their current reality. They are sitting with the weight of that choice now. What makes this card even more significant for Virgos is that the Lovers is actually associated with Gemini in the Zodiac, which is Virgo's house of career and public reputation in traditional astrology. But more importantly, Virgo and Gemini share Mercury as their ruling planet. There is a mental connection here, a communication theme, a sense of two minds trying to come together or understand each other. Your ex might be thinking about the mental connection you two shared, the conversations, the way you understood each other or sometimes did not. The Lover's card is also about harmony and union. And I am picking up that your ex is acutely aware right now of an imbalance in their life. They are missing that sense of partnership, that feeling of having someone who truly gets them and supports them. They might be looking at other couples or thinking about what they had with you and feeling a real sense of loss. But here is what is complex about the Lovers showing up here. This card is not necessarily saying that your ex wants to get back together or that they are trying to reconnect. What it is saying is that they are in a process of understanding what love means to them, what they need in a partnership, and how their choices have led them to where they are now. They are developing a deeper awareness of themselves as a partner and as someone who makes choices in relationships. This is actually a growth period for them, even though it might not feel like it to them in the moment. The Lovers is asking them to align their actions with their values and their true desires, not just what they think they should want or what looks good on paper. The fifth card I pulled is the Ten of Cups. And wow, Virgo, this is giving me chills because of what it represents in the context of everything we have seen so far. The Ten of Cups is the ultimate card of emotional fulfillment, happy family, relationship bliss, and having everything you dreamed of in terms of love and connection. This card showing up here tells me something really significant about how your ex perceives what they had with you or what they thought they could have with you. Your ex is dreaming about or longing for that fairy tale ending, that picture-perfect relationship in life where everything just works. They might be scrolling through social media, seeing other people's highlight reels, or they might be imagining some idealized version of what a relationship should look like. The Ten of Cups represents that vision of coming home to a loving partner, building a life together, creating lasting happiness and emotional security. Here's what is really interesting though. The Ten of Cups in this position suggests that your ex is idealizing something. Maybe idealizing what you had together, or idealizing what a relationship should be like. They are holding on to this vision of perfect happiness, but they are not necessarily doing the work or making the choices that would actually create that reality. Remember the Four of Cups we talked about earlier? They are sitting there feeling dissatisfied and missing opportunities. But at the same time, they are fantasizing about this Ten of Cups reality. There is a disconnect between their dreams and their actions, for a Virgo's ex, specifically. This makes sense because Virgos often create stability and work really hard to build something solid in relationships. You probably contributed a lot to creating that sense of home and emotional security that the Ten of Cups represents. Your ex might be realizing now what they had with you and what they walked away from. The grass is always greener syndrome is real. And the Ten of Cups here suggests that your ex thought they would find something better or different. But now they are realizing that what they had was actually pretty close to that ideal they were chasing. But here is the thing, Virgo, and this is important for you to understand. The Ten of Cups can also represent an unrealistic expectation of what relationships should be. Your ex might have this fantasy in their head that does not match reality. And they might have ended things with you because you were not fitting into their idealized picture, not because there was anything actually wrong with the relationship. They might have been chasing perfection instead of appreciating the genuine connection and partnership that was right in front of them. Now they are dealing with the consequences of that choice. And the Ten of Cups is showing me that they are longing for that sense of emotional fulfillment and completeness that they thought they would find elsewhere but have not. This card is also about legacy and building something that lasts. Your ex might be thinking about long-term commitment, family, future planning, all the things that the Ten of Cups represents. And they are realizing that they walked away from a situation where that was actually possible. The sixth card is the Ten of Pentacles. And this is reinforcing everything we just talked about with the Ten of Cups, but adding a really important material and practical dimension to it. The Ten of Pentacles is about legacy, long-term security, building wealth and stability, family traditions, and creating something that lasts beyond just yourself. This card is telling me that your ex is very focused on or very concerned about their material situation, their financial security, their career trajectory, and their long-term stability right now. They might be feeling pressure about money, about their living situation, about whether they are where they should be at this stage of their life. The Ten of Pentacles often comes up when someone is thinking about what they are building for the future and whether their current path is leading them toward the kind of established, secure life they envision for themselves. For a Virgo's ex, this is especially relevant because Virgos are known for being practical, hardworking, and focused on building stability. When someone is in a relationship with a Virgo, they often benefit from your organizational skills, your work ethic, your ability to plan and save and create security. Your ex might be struggling now with the practical aspects of life that you probably helped manage or balance when you were together. Maybe you were the one who budgeted or planned for the future or kept track of responsibilities. And now they're realizing how much they relied on that. The Ten of Pentacles is also a card about family and generational wealth or wisdom. Your ex might be thinking about what kind of life they want to build, whether they want a family, what kind of partner they need to create that stable foundation with. They might be looking at their parents or other family members and thinking about legacy, about what they want their life to look like in 10 or 20 years. What is really striking about having both the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles show up in this reading is that these are completion cards. Cards that represent the ultimate achievement in their respective suits. Your ex is deeply focused on wanting that complete package. The emotional fulfillment and the material security, the love and the stability. But both of these cards, in the context of the other cards we have pulled, suggests that they are dreaming about these things more than they are actively creating them. They want the end result without doing the journey. They want the 10 without going through the Ace through 9 first. This is showing me that your ex might have walked away from your relationship, thinking that the complete package was going to be easy to find elsewhere. But now they are realizing that building something real and lasting takes time, effort, commitment, and the right partner. The Ten of Pentacles also represents tradition and doing things the right way, the established way. Your ex might be feeling pressure from family or society about where they should be in life, and that pressure might be making them regret certain choices or feel anxious about their current path. The seventh card is the Three of Cups. And this brings in a whole new dimension to what your ex is doing and how they are coping with everything we have talked about so far. The Three of Cups is the celebration card, the friendship card, the card of social connection and joy shared with others. What this is telling me is that your ex is trying to fill the void or distract themselves by being social, going out, connecting with friends, maybe even celebrating or partying. They are seeking external validation and happiness through social interactions. This could look like them suddenly being really active on social media, going out to events, bars, parties, gatherings, or just spending a lot of time with friends and acquaintances. The Three of Cups energy is about finding joy and support in community, and your ex is definitely leaning into that right now. They might be surrounding themselves with people who uplift them, or at least people who distract them from their real feelings. For a Virgo's ex, this is interesting because Virgos tend to be more selective about social interactions and friendships. You are not the type to just go out and party aimlessly. You are more intentional about who you spend time with and why. Your ex might be going in the opposite direction right now, being more social and outgoing than usual, maybe even more than they were when they were with you. This could be a conscious or unconscious attempt to show you or themselves that they are doing fine, that they are happy, that they are living their best life. The Three of Cups can also indicate that your ex has a friend group or a social circle that is really influencing their thoughts and decisions. Right now, maybe they have friends who are single and encouraging them to stay single and play the field. Maybe they have friends who are giving them advice about relationships or about the breakup. There could be outside influences affecting how your ex is processing everything. But here's what I am picking up with the Three of Cups in this specific reading. The celebration and social activity might be surface level. Remember, we have the Four of Cups showing that your ex is actually feeling pretty empty and dissatisfied underneath it all. The Three of Cups suggests they are trying to fill that emptiness with social connection and external fun. But it is not addressing the deeper emotional issues. It is like putting a band-aid on a wound that needs stitches. They are seeking temporary relief and distraction rather than doing the real inner work they need to do. The Three of Cups is a beautiful card in many ways. It is about friendship, support, community, shared joy, and there is nothing wrong with your ex having fun and being social. But in the context of this reading, it feels like they are using social activity as an escape rather than as genuine connection. They might be surrounding themselves with people but still feeling alone. They might be at parties but not really present. This is a common coping mechanism after a breakup, trying to fill the space that was left by your partner with other people and activities. But it only works temporarily. The eighth card is the Six of Cups. And Virgo, this is the nostalgia card, the looking back to the past card. And it is telling me that your ex is spending a lot of time reminiscing about the relationship and about you specifically. The Six of Cups is all about memories, childhood, innocence, and the sweetness of the past. Your ex is definitely thinking about the good times you've shared together. They might be looking at old photos, reading old messages, remembering specific moments or experiences that made them happy. There is a real tenderness to this card, a soft and gentle energy that contrasts with some of the heavier cards we have pulled. What the Six of Cups is showing me is that your ex has a lot of affection and fondness. When they think about you and your time together, they are not thinking about the bad times or the reasons things ended. They are focusing on the positive memories and the connection you shared. This card often comes up when someone is romanticizing the past, seeing it through rose-colored glasses. Your ex might be remembering your relationship as better than it actually was. Or at least they are choosing to focus on the beautiful moments rather than the challenging ones. The Six of Cups is also about innocence and simplicity. Your ex might be longing for a time when things felt easier, when love felt pure and uncomplicated. They might be comparing new situations or new people to what they had with you and finding that nothing measures up to those memories. For a Virgo's ex specifically. This makes sense because Virgos tend to create really meaningful, stable relationships where there's a lot of care and attention to the small details. You probably did a lot of thoughtful things, remembered important dates, created rituals and routines that made your ex feel loved and valued. The Six of Cups is telling me that those little things, those daily expressions of love and care, are what your ex is missing and remembering most. They might be realizing now that it is those small, consistent acts of love that create real intimacy and connection, not grand gestures or dramatic romance. The Six of Cups can also indicate that your ex might be tempted to reach out to you, to reconnect based on these nostalgic feelings. This card sometimes represents a past person coming back into your life or someone wanting to revisit an old connection. Whether that actually happens or not depends on a lot of factors. But the energy is definitely there in terms of your ex thinking about it or wanting to. But here's the shadow side of the Six of Cups that is important to understand. This card can also represent being stuck in the past, not being able to move forward because you are too focused on what was. Your ex might be so caught up in memories and nostalgia that they are not able to fully engage with their present reality or build toward their future. They are looking backward instead of forward. And while it is natural to reflect on past relationships and cherish good memories, if someone stays in that space too long, it becomes unhealthy and prevents growth. The ninth card is the Nine of Cups. And this is such an interesting card to appear here because it is known as the wish fulfillment card. The card of satisfaction and getting what you want. The Nine of Cups shows someone who is sitting back, feeling content and pleased with what they have achieved or acquired. In the context of your ex and everything else we have seen in this reading, the Nine of Cups tells me that your ex is putting on a front of being satisfied and happy with their choices. They might be telling themselves and others that they are doing great, that breaking up was the right decision, that they are living their best life. This card can represent genuine satisfaction, but it can also represent someone who is convincing themselves they are happy when there are actually deeper issues underneath. The Nine of Cups is interesting because it is about emotional satisfaction, but in a somewhat self-centered way. The figure in this card is often depicted sitting alone with their cups arranged around them, arms crossed, looking satisfied but also somewhat isolated. Your ex might be focused on their own satisfaction and their own needs right now, perhaps even convincing themselves that they are better off alone or that they made the right choice by prioritizing themselves. For a Virgo's ex, this could manifest as them telling themselves they needed to be selfish. They needed to focus on their own happiness. They needed to put themselves first for once. And while self-care and self-focus is important, the Nine of Cups here suggests it might be tipping into self-indulgence or a false sense of contentment. The Nine of Cups can also indicate that your ex is getting some of the things they wanted in the material or surface sense. Maybe they are enjoying being single, maybe they are dating around, maybe they got a new job or apartment, or are having experiences they could not have while in the relationship. They might be checking boxes on their wish list and telling themselves, this is what happiness looks like. But remember all the other cards we have pulled, the Eight of Swords showing they feel trapped, the Four of Cups showing they are dissatisfied, the Ten of Cups and Ten of Pentacles showing they are longing for something more complete and fulfilling. The Nine of Cups in this context feels like a temporary high, a surface-level satisfaction that is not addressing the deeper emotional and spiritual needs. It is like someone eating dessert for every meal and calling it satisfaction, when what they really need is a balanced, nourishing diet. What I am really picking up with this card is that your ex might be in denial about their true feelings. They might be so focused on convincing themselves and everyone else that they are happy and that leaving was the right choice, that they are not allowing themselves to feel or process the real emotions underneath. The Nine of Cups can be about emotional repression disguised as satisfaction. Your ex might be afraid to admit they made a mistake or that they miss you. So instead, they are doubling down on this narrative that they are doing great and getting everything they want. The final card I pulled for you is the Five of Cups. And Virgo, this is the card that shows me the core truth of what your ex is feeling underneath everything else we have talked about. The Five of Cups is the card of loss, grief, disappointment, and regret. This is one of the most emotionally heavy cards in the tarot, and it shows someone standing with their back to two cups that are still standing, completely focused on three cups that have been spilled or knocked over. Your ex is grieving. They are dealing with real loss and sadness about what happened between you two. Despite the Nine of Cups showing, they might be putting on a happy face. Despite the Three of Cups showing they are being social and trying to distract themselves, the Five of Cups reveals that, deep down, your ex is experiencing real grief and regret. They are focused on what went wrong, on what they lost, on the relationship that is no longer there. The Five of Cups is interesting because it shows someone so focused on loss that they cannot see the opportunities still available to them, represented by the Two Cups still standing. Your ex is stuck in disappointment and sadness, unable to turn around and see that not everything is lost, that there are still possibilities and blessings in their life. This card is showing me that your ex has real regret about how things ended or about the choice to leave. They are not just casually moving on and forgetting about you. They are carrying this weight of loss and disappointment, and it is affecting them more than they probably want to admit to themselves or others. For a Virgo's ex specifically, this Five of Cups energy makes sense because being with a Virgo often means having someone who truly cares, who shows up consistently, who creates stability and helps you become better. Losing that is not something you get over quickly or isolate. Your ex is processing the magnitude of what they walked away from. The Five of Cups also indicates that your ex might be dealing with depression or a period of real sadness. This is not just surface-level disappointment. This is grief. They might be crying alone, having trouble sleeping, feeling unmotivated, struggling to find joy in things they used to enjoy. This card shows genuine emotional pain. What is important for you to understand, Virgo, is that the Five of Cups, while painful, is also part of a healing process. Your ex needs to feel this grief and disappointment in order to eventually move through it. The figure in the Five of Cups will eventually turn around and see those two cups still standing. Will eventually cross the bridge in the background and move forward. But they are not there yet. Right now, they are in the thick of the grieving process. This card is also about learning from loss and disappointment. Your ex is going through something that will ultimately teach them important lessons about relationships, about themselves, about what they really value and need in a partner. But that learning and growth cannot happen until they fully face and feel the disappointment and grief they are experiencing. The Five of Cups is telling me that your ex knows they lost something valuable, and that knowledge is sitting heavy in their heart right now. So Virgo, let me bring all of this together for you. Your ex is going through a really complex emotional journey right now. They are feeling trapped in their own mind, dissatisfied with their current situation. Yet life is moving fast around them, whether they are ready or not. They are deeply reflecting on love and relationships and the choices they have made, while simultaneously longing for that perfect emotional and material stability that the Ten of Cups and Ten of Pentacles represent. They are trying to distract themselves with social activities and convince themselves they are satisfied, while drowning in nostalgia for what you had together and ultimately grieving the loss of your relationship. What I am seeing here is someone who walked away thinking they wanted something different, only to realize that what they had with you was actually pretty special and not easily replaced. Your ex is doing a lot of internal processing right now, dealing with regret, longing, confusion, and grief, even while they might be showing a different face to the world. The important thing for you to understand is that their journey is theirs to make. Whether they eventually reach out, whether they do the work to heal and grow, whether they learn from this experience, that is all up to them. Your job is to focus on your own healing, your own growth, and your own future. You deserve someone who chooses you clearly and consistently. Someone who recognizes your value while they have you, not after they have lost you. The cards are showing me that your ex is realizing what they lost, but that does not mean anything has to change for you. You get to decide what you want, what serves you, and what your boundaries are. Take care of yourself, Virgo. Honor your feelings. And trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should for your highest good.